trade shows, you can do really, really well. Here's a promotion we did at a trade show. We're crazy. So we're business coaches, and we didn't, we're looking for extra business. And essentially we had somebody, developing websites who he was looking for business. We went to him and said, look, do you want to make $20,000? And he said, yes. So here's what you do. You need to provide us $500 websites free of charge. And basically as many as what we say makes sense, but we're not interested in wasting your time.
Okay.
They said, okay. Well, when somebody came to the trade show, basically we had an application, not so much just, basically, do you want a free website? Enter our draw. In order for them to enter the draw, they had to ask some questions. And the questions looked like, do you have a website? If you don't have a website, do people make money online in your industry? And are you making money online in your industry? If they answered those questions correctly, which basically they didn't have a website, or they had a website that wasn't earning them money within the industry, guess what? They magically got one of our free websites, okay? Because anybody who can potentially make money online is not going to spend $500. They're probably going to spend, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, because it's basically like money at a discount if you know how to sell it properly, right? Like, why would you not put together a half-decent website when there's a possibility of earning all this income?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So at the trade show, so prior to that, we had a game plan to give away free websites, but the free websites were going to be given away to our target market, the people that we ideally wanted to do business with. Okay, and do you think those people that took it on, do you think they took $500 websites?
Yeah.
They did, but
Yeah.
do you think they went with 500? Do you think they upsold them to 1,000, 2,000, 5,000? Yeah, absolutely. So how much do you think they made on the promotion? Let's put it this way. They didn't give many free websites away, and they made a reasonable sort of income out of the promotions. You see how it can work.
Yeah.
But if you just go to the trade show and start talking about websites, you're just going to end up with longer hair and extra a couple of grays in your beard, right? Not a good game plan. So trade show, thinking about that. If you go with a plan, it can work very well. Networking is the exact same thing. You need to go with a game plan. Like, I personally wouldn't go to a networking group if I didn't, I would go, but if I was looking to ramp up my business as a low cost, no cost promotion, I would go with a free offer. Okay, to every event that I went to. And I would change up the offer so they didn't get stale.
Yeah.
Okay, and you give away education, you give away reports, you give away teleseminars, you give away webinars, you give away education, you give away an interview with someone, you give away a DVD, right? So you give away something, right? So pretty powerful. But you go to a networking group, again, if you want to, step one of any sales process dictates you need to build rapport. People buy off people they like, and people like themselves. In a group, and you're going to meet somebody, make sure that you go with a nice 30-second elevator pitch and a way to compliment and relate. Okay, and by the way, 30-second elevator pitch, very quickly, here's what you want to do. Super easy, idiot-proof, and very powerful. Do you know how? Insert problem. What I do is insert solution. Okay, do you know how most business owners confuse being busy with being successful? What I do is put together rock-solid, bulletproof marketing plans that make their phone ring. Okay, bang, problem with a solution. Do you know how? What I do is have a go at that. And again, your networking results will immediately go up. In-store signage. Now, you've already got somebody in there. You might as well try and sell them more. Okay? And remember, people that spend the most money with you are the most loyal. Okay, so don't think you're doing them a favor by not having them spend a lot of money. They're going to spend it somewhere. They might as well spend it with you. And they're already in your store, so there must be something that they're interested in. All right, you can have, excuse me. So thank you cards. When somebody comes and does business with you, send them out a thank you card. Welcome them to your family. Send them out a picture of your family. Send them out a picture of everybody from your office. Right?
Okay.
I went to the vet recently with my dog. All of a sudden came home, and suddenly they welcomed the family, and they sent a photo with everybody who works there, and they very much acknowledged, the name of the dog, which was awesome, right? It was a great promotion. It was basically like what I'd call a wow kit, right? Impress the bejesus out of people, especially that first time, because now I'm likely to come back and not shop elsewhere because you looked after me, right? Yes. So send out thank you cards. Sponsorship. You can make a lot of money in sponsorship. Like, let's look at it this way. Michael Jordan. Jürgen, how much do you think Michael Jordan spends on a pair of Nike shoes? Not going to happen. Yeah. And he gets paid hundreds of, probably like to this day, he's still an owner of the company. Yes. Right? But he gets paid like $100 million, or did get paid like $100 million by Nike. Okay. Do you think if they can spend that kind of money on Michael Jordan, and that doesn't mention Tiger Woods, Federer, and all the rest of them, right? If they can spend that kind of money on their athletes, do you think there might be some clients out there that you could sponsor to massive gain?
Absolutely.
Definitely. So go find them. It's the high-flying politician. It's the athlete. It's the athlete's wife. It's the model. It's the young athlete who hasn't quite made it yet. So sponsorships can work really, really well in small business. It costs you next to nothing. You bring somebody in, you can leverage off of that forever. If you did business with Michael Jordan once and he wrote you a testimonial and gave you an autographed signed picture, you got it. You did business with him how many times?
Once.
And how long can you leverage off of that?
Forever.
Big time. Right? So you see how that works? So sponsorship can work very well. Client competition. Okay, so the person who spends the most this month gets a free trip to Las Vegas. Or if you have a wholesale type situation where you're selling to retailers, say, right? Because there's retail, there's wholesale, and then there's manufacturing, right? Ultimately, you want to move away from retail towards manufacturing in a perfect world, because strictly speaking, manufacturers have a lot more control than a retailer. Okay. The first people that tend to get affected by hard times are the retailers. Okay. Right? And then it filters down. So, basically the car yards were going out of business before GM and Ford got in a lot of trouble. Yes. Right? Makes sense? So anyway, if you have a situation where you're a wholesaler and you sell to retailers, put together a competition where the person that spends the most money with you this quarter, this half, this year, they get 4-5 trips to Las Vegas. Trip to Las Vegas costs you next to nothing, 100% money back, 100% tax write-off. Trips to Las Vegas can make you a lot of money as well. Same with sponsorships. Trip to Las Vegas can be very, very powerful.